Hey, Leisha, thanks for meeting up with me. I wanted to talk to you about your recent experience with the RSM CDI Excellence Academy. So, just to give my viewers some background information, about a year ago, I had sent you and other students from Santa Monica College's Black Legions program some information about this really awesome program called the RSM Excellence Academy, which is specifically for African American or Black students. So in case people don't know, RSM is one of the top accounting firms in the world. They actually have office locations throughout the United States and actually throughout the world. Can you talk about the perks of getting into this program, which takes place over 4 days? I believe if you're accepted, RSM will pay for your airfare and your hotel expenses. You actually stayed at you can talk about this later, but you stayed at a very nice 4.5 or 5-star hotel. So they pay for your airfare, they pay for your expenses. And on top of that, they actually pay, I can't believe this, they pay you guys a $5,000 stipend for attending this 4-day conference. So that's over $1,000 per day, right? Just to sit there and listen and have a great time. And icing on top of the cake, after this summer leadership conference is over, they actually offer you guys high-paying internships for the following 2 summers. And you can talk about this more, but the internships could either be in California, or if they're out of state, they actually pay you a nice stipend. So I hope I hit the points that the highlights of this program. Could you talk about the program a little bit?
Yes. So this is the first year that they're actually starting the program. So we are the first class to actually go through with it and test it out. And it does span over the course of 4 days. Each day we are assigned different workshops, panelists, and speakers to talk with, and also activities as well. We also do get an internship opportunity for the next 2 summers. If we decide to go out of state, they do give you a $7,000 living stipend to keep yourself afloat and to cover expenses as well.
And that's on, sorry to interrupt you, but they pay you. So let's say you want to do an internship, let's say in Dallas or Seattle or someplace, right? They have offices all over the United States. So they'll pay the $7,000 living expense stipend. And then on top of that, they'll still pay you an hourly pay, which is very good.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice. So you were nice enough to take some pictures, right? And you had shared them with me. Would you mind opening it up and then kind of going through some of the pictures, highlighting the cool stuff that happened during the conference?
Yes, of course. So this first picture, this was my first day. I had just got off the plane and I had hopped on the bus. We were on our way to the hotel. These are the first three people I had met on the trip, and they remained my friends for the rest of the trip. And they're still my friends today. I still talk to them. But they're actually from, this one, she's actually from California, and she goes to Cal State Northridge. And these 2, they're actually from New York. So there's a lot of students that are actually going to 4 years and that live out of state. A lot of them are from New Jersey, Florida, Charleston, a lot of different states. I believe there's 106 of us that got accepted into the program out of 600 applicants. I believe possibly there wasn't that many community college students that actually were part of the program, but I believe it's just an error in the sense that maybe it wasn't reached out to that many community colleges. But I don't think that just because of that statistic, it should really discourage any community college students, because nonetheless, there were community college students there, such as myself. So I just thought that I'd have to say that.
Well, I want to mention to you, Florence Howland, who is the organizer of this year's conference. I got to know Florence through the AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So she used to work for the AICPA, and then she started working for RSM and coordinating their diversity inclusion group. So Florence had sent the information to me to originally send the information out to my UCLA students. But I had asked her, I said, could I also share this with my community college students? And she said, absolutely. So I think what happened was maybe perhaps there's some miscommunication, and maybe some of the other professors assumed that only four-year students could apply, but the program is really open to all students, right? Like yourself. And that's why there were community college students who applied and got accepted. So it's not exclusive to just four-year students.
Yes.
Okay, so talk about this one. This is at the conference.
Yes. So this room, this is actually where we meet every morning and afternoon for breakfast and lunch, and where we do our introductions. Speak with most of our speakers and panelists as well. It's a very big room. There was a lot of us. There was about 100 students. So it's a very big room to be able to fit that many students. But yeah, this is mainly where we met to speak with the panelists and the speakers. The stage is up here. There's Florence Holland in the back and Dennis. Everybody had their little designated table. Once people made friends, most of them just stayed at their table. So it's kind of like high school a little bit.
Could you talk about, before you move on to the next slide, could you talk about the different panel sessions, the different speakers? I mean, mainly talk about what were some of the different topics that were covered during the 4-day conference?
So during the conference, a lot of the topics with the speakers, they ranged from mainly doing a career in accounting, security and financial security in accounting, being Black in accounting. That's mainly the realm that they spoke about. One of the speaker sessions, we actually played like an investigation game where we were actually being forensic accountants, and we had to go through different statements to uncover like who was stealing money from a church. So it was very fun. They were very interactive speakers as well. They definitely try to incorporate the audience as well. And they took a lot of our questions.
That sounds cool. Doing a forensic, like an actual practical situation. That's great. Besides going to the conference, they actually took you guys on some trips, right? Just to have fun, get to see the city. So this is the aquarium that you went to?
Yes, it's called the Shed Aquarium. So they already had our schedules planned. So for the whole day, we had activities to keep us busy for most of the day. And we had 3 activities that we did. The first one was going to the Shed Aquarium. The second one was actually visiting the office and speaking with our mentors. And the third one was going to a Cubs baseball game.
Oh, talk about I'm going to go back a bit. You mentioned about mentors. Can you tell me the program actually assigned you to mentors? That sounds great.
Yes, they actually give us 2 mentors. 2 of my mentors, they actually live in California. One of them bases in, I believe, the San Diego office and the San Francisco office. So they're actually not that far from me. They're right in my state.
I'm assuming this is your hotel room.
Yes, it is. It's a very nice hotel room. I believe I think it's probably 4.5, maybe possibly 5 stars, maybe 4.7, 4.8. But it's a very nice hotel. It was very nice that they accommodated us with hotels. We had our own bathrooms. We had our own rooms. I thought we were going to get roommates, but then I really thought about it and was like, oh, maybe that's not a smart idea. So
No. These accounting firms, like they pay you guys well, right? $5,000 stipend for the you don't share rooms.
Yeah.
You get your own room.
Yeah. That was very nice of them to give us our own rooms. This is the entrance elevator. This was when we were heading up the actual firm building, or their office.
You mean their corporate headquarters?
Corporate
headquarters. Yeah, because they actually have offices throughout the U.S. But okay, yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
I didn't get that many photos of the actual firm or the office. Sorry, about the headquarters. But it's very nice. I believe it's about 2 to 3 floors, and they have a lot of activities. They actually have a VR room in their office as well. So that's very interesting that they have that.
You had mentioned to me before that as part of the fun side trips, you guys actually went to a baseball game?
Yes, we went to a Cubs baseball game. We were on this rooftop that was like behind the stadium, but it was still like a really great view of the game as well.
Amazing.
And this is one of our speakers, Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. I would say that I think he was probably one of the most impactful speakers that we had. I think when he had started speaking, I feel like they were much more into it than our other speakers, not to not to tear down them. They were great speakers, but I feel like Eric Thomas, he had an effect on all of us when he was speaking, and that's why he's a motivational speaker, because he's really good. Like he really puts his voice and his passion into it, and he really inspired all of us. So he was a great speaker, by the way, for us to end off. This was actually on our last day as well. So for them to end it off with him as our last speaker, it was a very nice touch. And then this is a photo I got of some of the main people over. There's Eric Thompson, there's Florence, there's Dennis, and then some of them are other partners. She's actually one of the partners, spoke on one of the panels.
So let's if you don't mind putting your pointer at Florence, the lady in the,
Yes.
is that kind of like a beige dress?
Yes.
So yeah, Florence is a person that I knew through the AICPA. She now, after AICP, she now works for RSM. I believe she's head of their firm's diversity inclusion group. And so she was the one who started this program, and she let me know about it to pass on to my students. So I want to make sure that we give her props for doing such a great job.
Yeah, she did. She did a great job in always introducing the speakers and running the whole operation. She was coordinating everything, and she really did a great job. She was like a big auntie to our group. So like some people would call her like the auntie.
Okay.
And this is a picture I had got with her on the last day. I miss her very much. She's very sweet. This is a picture. They had camera crews and photographers there as well to document it, since this was the first year they were actually doing the program. And this is just me talking to one of the recruiters in the firms. I believe he's based in Chicago, but I think he says he travels as well out of state. This is when I was leaving. And they actually allowed us to get free headshots as well. Headshots are very, very, very expensive. So it was very sweet of them to allow us to get our headshots in, to give us new LinkedIn profile pictures and stuff. So that was nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, given, that's a very professionally done headshot photo, you should use that for LinkedIn or any kind of social media site. So that's fantastic.
I actually changed my LinkedIn profile to this. As soon as they emailed it to me, I changed it. And this is my last photo. This is our big group photo. These are all of the students. It was very nice to see that, because it's not too often you see African-American students in a professional setting like this. So it's just really nice to see the company really investing in diversity.
So my last question for you is, obviously this is a great conference, right? And I want, next time they do this conference, this was for 2022, next year they're going to do it for 2023. Next year, I want more students, whether they're four-year college students or community college students, to apply for this conference. So can I ask you, what were the steps in applying? There was the application form. So next year, I think they probably need to either find out from their professors, people need to find out from their professors, or they need to just go to the RSM website to find out more about this conference. But besides filling out this application form, did you need letters of recommendation? Did you need to write an essay? Was the process a lot of work? Could you talk about that? I do know that you had to do an interview, right? But tell me about the process.
So for the application process, it's mainly done online. There wasn't an essay required or a letter of recommendation. They did ask questions though, which provided lengthy responses. So I guess it's almost an equivalent to an essay, but it's not necessarily an essay required. But once you get through the application process, they schedule you for an interview. And it's actually 2 interviews that you have to do. They're both spoken with recruiters at the firm as well. So I had to do 2 interviews back to back. Actually, I didn't really get a break. Once I finished the first one, I had to go straight into the next one. So it can be a bit nerve-wracking, but I got through it. And I think for anyone applying, like, all I really have to say is really, really show that you're interested, because I believe what made me a strong candidate was that I really invested myself in the interviewers I was talking to. And I spoke with a lot of passion, and I asked a lot of questions. I asked them questions about the firm. I asked them questions about what they thought about diversity and accounting. I really asked a lot of good questions to really show that I was interested in it and that I really wanted this opportunity. So I believe the best thing you do is just show that you're interested and that you're passionate about the job itself and the internship in order to give you a leg up.
Well, Leisha, thank you so much for meeting up with me on Zoom today to share information about this fantastic conference. I hope what you said will inspire more students to apply for this conference the next time they open it up, which I believe hopefully they'll be doing this every year. So yeah, thanks again.
Of course, bye.